My name is Stitcher Trish, and welcome to Needle Notes. This is episode number 4. Behind the camera is my self-proclaimed nerdy husband, Steven. So,
Hey.
self-proclaimed. I did not give him that title. So, but he's here with me. So this is our Needle Notes. We are recording on Monday, September the 7th, Labor Day. We're teachers, so we had the day off today, thankfully. We have enjoyed our long weekend and had a little bit of not doing anything overly constructive kind of days this weekend, which we've enjoyed. School for us is online, all virtual, which is a blessing and a curse altogether. I'm a high school band director, and we're in North Carolina, so it's been an interesting transition for me to shift my thinking to make things work for the kids. But so far, it's going pretty well. From my perspective, they seem content and happy and seem to be doing great. So we're making the best of the situation, and which means I haven't had a huge amount of time to stitch, not as much as I had back in the summer, of course. But I got a little bit of work done. Every 3 weeks is seeming to work for us to do the Flosstube thing. So it's been 3 weeks, and here we are. So let's get on with the stitching, because that's why you're here, right? So the first thing I want to show you is a finish. And this finish comes from this ancient book from 1980. It's a 3 Needles publication, which, believe it or not, came out of Burlington, North Carolina. So anyway, it's got, 10 or 12 patterns in there, all related to NC State University. And this is the one that my brother picked out that he liked the best. And I think he knows that he's getting this for Christmas. But I finally finished it up. I just used a 14 count Aida that I coffee tea dyed. And it's all done in DMC, called for. I did change the bottom down here and use a Weeks Dye Works Turkish red, just so it had a little pop, because all the state people I know wear a lot of red. So anyway, this was fun, and I'm glad it's done. So now I've got to get my basting stitch around it and get it on some acid-free foam core and frame it. I'm going to do the framing myself. I just got to go find the right frame. So that was finish number 1, which means there was a finish number 2. Don't pass out. Here it is. Da-da-da. This is Dear Joy by Barbara Anna. I did this on a leftover remnant of some 40 count Sunshine that I had. I did another piece, about 6-8 months ago on this, and this is what I had left over. This is done by Kimberly Tuttle, who lives just up the road from me in a place called Pinnacle, which is on the way to Pilot Mountain. Anyway, she's a local dyer. Her shop is on Etsy, and it will be tagged in the comment box below, so you can get up with her. But anyway, Barbara Anna's Dear Joy. I used the calls for DMCs everywhere except for the Joy, which I don't know if the camera's picking up. A little sparkle in there. And then I did these beads instead of the stitches that were called for with there's 3 colors of peach in there, and the beads were supposed to be the middle color of peach, and I decided just to do beads, so it's extra Christmassy, extra sparkly. Anyway, had a fun time with this one. It didn't take a huge amount of time to stitch up. Just a neat little piece. So those are my 2 finishes. I'm very proud to have 2 finishes in a 3-week span. That's a rarity for me. Next, I want to talk to you about whips and what's going on. So, piece I worked on, I put about a good week in on this, Crosses of the Kingdom by Rosewood Manor. And this is what I've gotten done so far. This past week, I got in this big cross, this one that's all black work, and several of these little ones. Pretty much everything from here over is what I managed to get in, and it took me 4 or 5 nights, about a couple of hours every night. Needleminder by Steven. But anyways, this is a beautiful, beautiful piece, and what I'm using on this is just two flosses. One is DMC 310. And the gold is a Petite Treasure Braid Gold. This is a 36 count Legacy Linen. Eiderdown is the name of this. The Petite Treasure Braid is just the right size. If I'd been able to get hold of, and I couldn't, a 40 count, the 40 count would have provided a bit of a problem, because the Petite Treasure Braid is almost too big for the 36. But anyway, this one's coming along pretty well. This is pretty much 2 pages, a little bit of the bottom because I couldn't finish half across and leave it. I had to finish them up. So I'm hoping to work on this side sometime soon. I don't have a goal for this one. It'll get done when it gets done. It's just a fun piece to work on. And that was really it. I finished up those 2 pieces, and that was my whips for the last 3 weeks. But I did have a new start. So I treated myself yesterday. I thought I deserved to have a new start. And let me show you this piece. So this is by Alessandra Adelaide, called Attention Dragon. And I got started on this yesterday. And I made it all the way around. I really had the entire dragon, I thought, completed. And then when I got here, it didn't match up. And I went back and figured out that I'd left out a row of stitches down here at the front claw. And so I just frogged everything out last night, about 2 hours worth of work that I frogged out, and went, you know what? I think I'm going to go to bed. So I'll probably hop back into this one a little bit tonight. So see my dragon egg, isn't it cute? And then my D20, because dragons and D20s just go together. So anyway, I'm working on, this is an 18 count Aida that is ivory colored. Super stiff stuff. This is something that came out of my stash that a great aunt gave to me, 20-ish years ago. So I pulled it out and decided to use it. I hadn't worked on Aida, a small Aida, in a long time, but it's going pretty well. Let me talk about my flosses with this. So what I decided to use was dig in my stash. I bought some Mrs. Sada's, I don't know, a good 3 or 4 months ago. And I bought a hank of red that I needed for a different project I was working on. And just while I was at it, since it was coming from Australia, I ordered one of the grab bags. And it came with 10 different colors. And these are 2 of the colors from the grab bag. They don't have names. It's just a really dark blue with some variegation that I'm using for the outline dragon. The inside of the dragon, I will use this super variegated purples and blues and all that. But silk, I'm just in love with how silk works and stitches. If I can afford to, I will only use silk. I know that's just a dream that's not going to happen. But anyway, that's my new start. For haul, I got a couple of new things. I am a member of the Fortnite Fabric of the Month Club. I get their neutrals, and this came last week. It's called Panther Cap. They're named after mushrooms for the year. It's a beautiful kind of, I think there's a lot of purple in it to my eye. It has a lot of purple and brown, and it's just a great neutral. So very pleased with this. And they've started carrying 40 count. So I switched from the 36 club over to the 40 count. So that came in this week, and I joined the brand new Be Stitch Me Silk of the Month Club. And I've got my silks. She gives you 50 yards of silk every month. It's a great deal. And let me see if I can tell you the truth on these. This gray is called Storm. This one is Monk. I'm not remembering. Monkswood. Okay, for the dark purple, and the light purple is called Sugar Light. So haven't used them yet, obviously. I'm looking forward to finding something to get those involved with, because silk rocks. It's my new favorite. Actually, it's not a new favorite. Also got some fabric, so I'm excited about having some time to get back into the sewing room and do some sewing. This is a Simplicity vintage, so I got this great to go with it. Great stripe to accent, because she's got stripes in her shirt, so hence the blue stripe to accent that. So I'm excited about that one. And then it's time for the holidays, so let's just be overtly holiday-ish with a stripe. And this is going to be the accent. So just a neat, I don't know if it's a batik, not sure, but really cool. And then these awesome gnomes. All the little holiday gnomes. So we have a gnome thing in our house too, because Stephen. And then I am super excited about this fabric. All this came from equilter.com out of California. They do printed fabrics. So it's a cotton, but it's a printed cotton. This is just a really cool, awesome fire-ish pattern. And that's going to be the offset to, well, dragon. So yeah, this is really neat. It's got some great yellow color in it. I'm excited to make bags out of that. So those will be coming, I hope, very soon to our Etsy shop. Steve and I have an Etsy shop, and all that will be tagged at the bottom. We'd love for you to visit our Etsy shop, and it's going to be a few weeks before those get in there, at least a week, if not a little bit more. I also wanted to share with you all my favorite stitching tool. Well, there's a little bit of a story with my favorite stitching tool. I saw several people wearing these, and I was like, yeah, that's just too much. It's just a little ridiculous. And I start showing Steven a picture of somebody wearing these, and he was like, real quiet, which was a little odd. And then he said, yeah, I'll order you a set. They're on the way. And I'm like, oh, well, they'll be great. You know, the backpedaling began. Then they came, and these don't have a brand name, but they have options. They have earpieces or a band that you can attach to go around your head. I like the earpieces better, but here's the killer part. The magnifiers have a box of them, and they start at 1 time magnification and have a 1.5, a 2, 2.5, and then a 3. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, I love the 3, and they just clip in like this. Okay, and I drop them on over top of my glasses and stitch away. And I don't have incredibly poor eyesight, but you know, I have to wear glasses, and these just add a level of clarity that I really like, especially with my 40 counts. And I can see exactly how my stitches lay, so it allows me to be a little more picky when I'm using more than one piece of floss. And you know, I really like these. I thought they were going to be ridiculous, and no, once again, Stephen was right. Anyway, I keep them in a little case. And I take them out when I'm not using them because the sunshine might come in and hit my stitching table and catch something on fire, and they just live in the little case. If you put them in there correctly, the case actually closes. So anyway, favorite stitchy tool. If you're hesitating on buying one of these, there's tons of different brands of them out there. Amazon has them. Wonderful. And it does have a light in it. I failed to mention that. I don't use the light because I have a stand light. And the batteries go in here. I don't like the added weight of the batteries, so I typically use my stand light. Plus my stand light is way more light than that will provide. Couple of really cool things that I have been watching, a couple of cool Flosstube folks that I have discovered in the last few weeks, and been watching and really enjoying getting to know. There is one Flosstube channel called Black Ribbon Studio, and Denise is the lady running that channel, and I'm just watching a few of her. She's up to like number 20, so I'm trying to catch up. But she does the kind of projects that I like, typically bigger things. She just started a couple of long dog pieces, so fun to watch and listen to, and she's just, you know, good company. Another new Flosstuber that I have found is Amy from, her channel is called Globe Trotting Stitcher. Go check her out. Again, she does big pieces mostly, and she's stitched for a long time and has a lot of great pieces, so she's fun to watch. And then Jean Farish, who is a renowned cross-stitching teacher. I have come across her channel, and I have learned so many things. I can't even start telling you all the things that I've learned from Jean Farish, and I don't think she has but 4 Flosstubes so far. So, and last but not least is Christy's Corner. Christy is from Mississippi, and she is not a cross-stitcher. She does surface embroidery. So she's like about the only person on Flosstube doing embroidery works, and it's just neat to see the embroidery perspective and how it's different from what the cross-stitch folks do. But she not only does embroidery videos, she also does history videos, and she's working on some historical cooking videos. She's so much fun to watch. She's a professor, a medieval professor, and she just is a pleasure to watch, and she teaches you so many things as well. So go check out those channels when you get a chance. Plans, let me move into that. Plans for the week are, let's get back into making a few bags and get those into the shop. But I plan to work on my new start a little bit. And then I have Dragons of Sumatra. I didn't pull it out this week, but I have been working on this for ages, and I haven't put a stitch in it in 3 weeks. So that one's going to get pulled back out because it's one of my favorite pieces to work on. And then one I am gathering the things for is the Long Dog Sampler's Templar Prophecy. So right now I'm just trying to get my fabric and flosses put together for that. I think I've decided to do it with an Aida and some black and red silks. So getting hold of the black and red silks, I'm going to need probably at least a hank to do those. But those are my plans upcoming. We're planning to survive more school and thrive. And I think that's the majority of the things that we're up to here in North Carolina. I just want to thank you so much to everybody for coming back and spending some time with me. And if you feel so inclined, please subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you.